I only got one more night. I'm gonna live out loud goodbye. This gonna be the type of night they make movies
What up,
about.
what up, what up? It's your boy Mr. Vaughn, Mr. Vaughn's channel Sweatbox. We back, we live, we active here on the channel. Yes, indeed, you know how we do. Still dodging those digital jabs, baby. Yes, let's talk about House of the Dragon episode 9, the penultimate episode. One episode left after this. Yes, season 1 has been bananas. Let's get into it, man. Spoiler review. King Viserys is dead. Now it's time for the shit to go down. Immediately. Alicent and her dad and the rest of the small council, they start moving to usurp Rhaenyra. I mean, immediately. Alicent goes in and she tells her father, Viserys told me on his deathbed that he wishes Aegon to be king, which she believes to be true, even though it's not. She believes it to be true, so that's her excuse. Otto's like, I bet. Let's go to the council. The council's like, oh, okay, he's dead? Alright, cool. So let's go ahead and move forward with putting Aegon like we was talking about. Alicent was like, what? Y'all was plotting all this behind my back? Y'all was always going to do this regardless? He was like, yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine. Now, what's his name? I don't remember his name. Mr. Burberry or whatever. He was like, yo, I'm not having this. I've known Viserys longer than any of you. You want me to believe that he told his daughter, that he told his wife, and nobody else on his deathbed that he's taking the succession away from his daughter? I don't believe that. I don't believe none of that. This is treason. I think one of y'all killed him. Didn't one of y'all kill him? Where was y'all at last night? My man went off, questioning everybody. Sir Criston Cole, being the hoe cake that he is, came over and was like, hey, homie, I need you to sit down. Yeah! Bounced this dude's head off the table, but then when he didn't realize that when he crushed his skull on the little balls that they be using, to put into place, yeah, crushed his whole skull on it. He was done. He was a wrap. Then the King's Guard, the head of the King's Guard was like, Criston, take your sword up. Take off your cloak, put your sword down. You're done, bro. You're done. And Sir Criston's like, you ain't gonna be threatening the Queen, son. The Queen's like, he didn't even say that to me. Put your sword down, Sir Criston. I don't understand how this Criston style. I don't understand how Sir Criston still got a job. I don't understand it. This nigga never follows the rules, just does whatever he wants, flaunts authority, yet he's supposed to be on the side of righteousness? Make it make sense. I don't understand it. So then, Lord Thornberry or whatever his name, and he's sitting there dead. They're like, we should probably get somebody to remove his body. Otto's like, nah, ain't nobody going nowhere till we figure this out. I was like, y'all cold. The king over there ain't still in the bed. The king's still in the bed. One of the little servants had to go tell the other servant who had to tell Queen Alicent. That's the only way they even found out. And then, after they locked up all the servants that knew. Everybody that knew the king was dead, they locked them all up. So the word couldn't spread, but the word still spread out because old girl lit the little candles. And the white worm, Viserys, Daemon's old chick, she found out. She knew off top. Man. So, now, they gotta find Aegon so they can make him king. Aegon's nowhere to be found. They don't know where this dude's at. He's just in the streets. He went down to Flea Bottom. He's down there on the Road of Silk, hollering at all the little prostitutes, watching kid fights. Just when you think Westeros can't get it, let me just put this on record. Westeros is a terrible place. No one ever should visit there. I'm pretty happy that this place doesn't exist. The dragons could have burnt it all down. Because Westeros is a terrible place. King's Landing is a terrible place. They got kid fights. Not cockfights. Not dog fights. They got kid fights. They got little orphan kids, little bastard kids down there, sharpening their teeth, filing up their nails, and then they got them fighting each other to the death. I was like, what? You go down there, Aegon's been running through the whole Silk District, so he got bastards up the yin yang. He got his little kid bastards down there. His little kid bastards is down there fighting. I'm just like, this nigga Aegon is the worst, bro. He's the worst. Oh my goodness. So look, Otto and Alicent are beefing because during the whole council, after they killed Lord Burberry, whatever his name was, they was like, all right, we gotta kill Rhaenyra. We gotta kill Rhaenyra and Daemon. Alicent's like, what? Nah, man, we ain't doing that. All right, I want Aegon to be king, but I'm not gonna stand here. The king just died. You want me to sit there and pass while you kill his daughter too, who he loved very much? I can't have that. I can't have that. So then, as they're trying to find Aegon, Otto wants to find him so he can persuade him to have Rhaenyra killed. Alicent wants to find him so she can persuade him not to do it. So Otto, he sends out Auric and Eric, who the only way I can make sure to pronounce their names right is because Auric sounds like R for pirates. So that's how I make the difference. Auric. That's Auric and Eric. He sends both of them out to go find Aegon. Alicent sends Sir Criston Cole and Aemon to go find Aegon, and it's a mystery and a race who's gonna find him first. Very good episode. I just can't say the tension. The tension was crazy. Okay, so Aemon and Criston Cole, they go down to Silk Row and they talk to one of these little prostitutes where Aemon confesses Aegon brought him when he was 13. Aegon brought Aemon down there when Aemon was 13 and Aegon was like 17, I don't know. It's time to get it wet. Aegon is horrible. Aegon's horrible. Let's not forget this is the same Aegon that was jerking off out the window of King's Landing. Oh, he's got so many issues. So they get down there, they question, and the prostitute was like, I ain't seen him in a couple of years. He ain't been down here in a minute. He likes to frequent other spots. And then she recognizes Aemon. She's like, how you've grown. Aemon don't even say nothing. He's like, Aemon was down there getting this freak on. He ain't want to admit it. He was down there getting long dick in these prostitutes. So yeah. And then Auric and Eric, that's when they discover the little kid fighting pits, and they show the kids sharpening their teeth and fighting each other. It's crazy. And they have a divide. They're like, yo, I don't remember which one's which. Eric is like, yo, we gotta find him. Auric's like, yo, man, this dude does not deserve to be king. We should have stayed loyal to Rhaenyra. The whole time, Rhaenys, she's been locked in her room, because mind you, this is right after the dinner. So she was locked in her room all night, and now she can't get out. Alicent comes to see her, and she's like, what's going on? Alicent's like, the king is dead. She's like, oh, and you're usurping the throne. She knew off top. She's like, look, I could really use your support and your dragon, but if not, we're just going to leave you locked in here until it's all done. Rhaenyra's like, really? Why are you doing this? You ain't ever thought about taking them. The conversation between Alicent and Rhaenys was really good. It was really good. The way Rhaenys just planted this inner ear, like, why are you still working for men? You ain't ever thought about taking the throne for yourself? Taking the power for yourself? It was a very good scene. Now, Alicent, she's not with it. She's like, whatever. She leaves Rhaenyra locked in the room so that you make your decision. She leaves Rhaenys locked in the room, She said, make your decision. That's it. Okay? Aemon and Criston Cole, they finally find Aegon. Actually, Auric and Eric find him first after the White Worm meets with Otto Hightower, and she tells him, I know where Aegon is, but I need something from you. Hold on, let me fix this real quick. Alright, sorry. She's like, I need something from you. And they're like, what? I need you to stop with all the kid fights. Make sure, because the Gold Close is getting paid to look the other way. I need you to make that right. I was like, all right, I'll do it. No, he ain't gonna do jack. I don't care nothing about that. He just want to find Aegon. So she tells him where Aegon is. Auric and Eric go get Aegon. She didn't stash Aegon in some crypt under a statue. Like, she didn't literally stuffed him in like a cubby hold. This nigga's drunk, passed out under there. They pull him out. He's like, come on, buddy. And then they're taking him, and then they run into Criston Cole and Aemon, and Criston Cole and Auric, or Eric, which one of them, I don't know. One of them gets into a fight. Let's just say it's Eric. Criston Cole and Eric get into a fight, while Auric doesn't join in. And he's like, I'm done with this, man. This is getting too crazy. So Kristen Cole and Eric get into the fight. Kristen Cole wins. Meanwhile, Aemon is trying to tackle Aegon to take him back. And he grabs him and he's like, is it true? His father really dead? Aemon's like, yes. And they're going to make you king. Aegon spits in this man's face, tries to run and says, I don't want it. I'm not fit to be king. Aemon's like, bruh, you'll get no argument from me. It should be me. There's a scene earlier when they was down in Silk Road. Aemon was talking to Kristen Cole. He was like, look, man, why are we doing all this? He don't even want the job. I'm the one who should be king. I'm the smartest. I'm the best fighter. I got the biggest dragon in the world. I should be king. And Kristen Cole's like, I feel you, bro, but it's just not in the books. What do you want me to do? Let's just go get this crazy nigga, please, so we can go home. So they finally get they finally get Aegon. They take him to Alicent. Alicent goes to her father and be like, I know what you was trying to do. It's not going to work. I got Aegon. I'm calling the shots. You doing what I say. Otto's like, all right, fine. You still gonna have to end up killing Rhaenyra, but fine, whatever. We'll try it your way. It's not gonna work. Meanwhile, Auric, the other brother who didn't get beat up by Kristen Cole, after he goes and he sets Rhaenys free. They got disguised. They're trying to get out of the city. Rhaenys is like, yo, man, take me to my dragon. He's like, we ain't gonna make it. We gotta get out of here. And then in the rush, the whole crowd is gathering for Aegon's confirmation, his christening, his crowning. I don't remember what that's called. I call it a confirmation, but yeah, whatever that giant ceremony is when they crown the king. Coronation. Thank you. That's the word. All of King's Landing is gathering in the dragon pit for the coronation. In the gathering crowd, Rhaenys gets separated from Auric, and she just follows the crowd into the dragon pit, realizing, oh, well, this will put me close to my dragon. I might be able to sneak in over there. Sure enough, she does. Anyway, the whole crowd comes in. Aegon comes in. They make a whole big spectacle. They name him Aegon. He takes Aegon the Conqueror's crown instead of his father's crown. Which is important. He takes Aegon the Conqueror's crown and his sword. I think it's called Blackfire. He's he's the conquering king. Okay, that's what they're named, Aegon the Conqueror. He raises his sword. He realizes, these people actually love me. Not really, bro. You're still a terrible person. There's this scene where him and Alicent are in the wagon on the way to the coronation, and she's trying to explain to him. She gives him the dagger, and she's like, "Look, you gonna be king now." And she's like, "Father never. This isn't what Father wanted. Father didn't love me." She's like, "It doesn't matter. This is what's gonna happen." And so then you start to get a little bit of a sympathetic view of how Aegon sees it. He doesn't want this. His father didn't love him. He knows this is not what his father wanted. But once he saw that admiration for the people, his attitude kind of changed. So that was interesting. So then you get to the final scene. Oh, hold up. No, why did I almost forget this? I almost forgot the one scene. So then, before the coronation, and after Alicent has gotten a hold of Aegon, she goes back to her room to try to relax. They got Aegon stashed. She's like, all right, cool. We're going to get this coronation done in the morning. She gets back to her room, and Larys is there, okay? Yeah. Larys, excuse me, Laura. Larys is there, yeah. Larys is there. And she's like, oh, what do you want? He's like, I got some information for you. And so she sits down and she takes her shoes off and gets comfortable, you know what I'm saying? Like, it looks like she's just getting comfortable in her room at first. And so Larys sits down and she's like, what's going on? She puts her feet up on the counter. And the camera zooms in on her feet a little bit, and then they zoom in on his little club foot as he's trying to sit down, and let's all sit down. You're like, what's up with that? It's weird. So he tells her about the spy network that he found out about the White Worm, Maseri, and that's how he finds out about it. So he's like, I could take care of that if you want me to. And she was like, is that something you could do? And he's like, well, you know it. If my queen asks anything, then I shall do it. So she's like, all right. So then Alicent proceeds to put her feet up on the table in plain view of everybody, ankles out and everything, like a common whore. Ankles showing. I'm joking. But she got her ankles out. She do have her ankles out, though. And she got her feet up on display. I'm like, what is going on? And they pan the camera over to Larys, whatever. Laris, they panned the camera over to Laris, and this dude went and touched himself in an inappropriate way while looking at Allison's feet. I was like, what is this show doing? This is the craziest thing ever. Every time I think Game of Thrones can't stoop any further, they never cease to amaze me. Allison doesn't even look at him. She just looks away while he's going to town. I was just like, oh my God. Is this the deal they have? You show him your feet and he gives you all the dirt? I just can't. It was the craziest scene ever. I was like, this came out of nowhere. That was weird. It was super weird. If Laris wasn't weird enough, if Laris was not weird enough, that just took it to the Twilight Zone. I'm like, I'm done with this guy. If y'all don't kill him, please. Him and his foot fetish. I can't. That was too much. So then, back to the Dragon Pit. They crown Aegon king. He's like, okay, he's raising his sword up. Rhaenys then snuck out down to the Dragon Pit, armored up, and got her dragon right in the middle of Aegon's confirmation and his crown and his all that. He's like, yes, I am the conquering king. She says, nope. Boom! Explosion in the middle of the Dragon Pit. Her dragon comes out from underneath the pit. The whole time, I forgot to mention, Helena, through the whole episode, had been trying to tell y'all the beast beneath the board. There is a beast beneath the boards. Ain't nobody listening to that crazy girl. When Rhaenys popped out with her dragon, it was like, ah. I'm like, oh, she about to murder everybody. Now, granted, she murdered at least. Now, when I tell you, everybody was in King's Landing. It was packed. It was like a concert. It was like 10,000 people there, okay? When that thing exploded, at least 1,000 people died. I don't care what nobody say. You see it. Dragon's throwing rubble everywhere and knocking people into the hole with his tail, stepping on folks. It's a dragon. Of course, it's going to cause massive collateral damage. So, oh my goodness. It was so bad. It was so bad. The dragon is in the middle of the room, causing chaos. People are trying to run. I mean, it is chaos. The whole family, the whole green set is standing right there. All she had to say was Dracarys, and the show would have been over. It would have been Dracarys. They would have burnt up. It would have rolled the credits. Like, thank you for enjoying House of the Dragon Season 1. The show is now over. Rhaenyra wins. Rhaenys wins, actually. Fatality. By burning everybody. They was done. She could have had them all. She had to drop on all of them. They was standing there like, well, we're done. Aemon was like, yeah, this seems a good way to die. I'm ready. Aegon and Aegon and everybody else were terrified. They was like, this is it. This is how we die. Rhaenys rolls right up on him. Her dragon yells at him like, bitch, I'm the hardest. Always remember that. Ah! And just yells on him, son. And then just flies off. And I get it. I understand why. In the narrative, everybody's like, oh, loophole to make the show go on. No, it's not. They've done nothing. They've done nothing to Rhaenys worthy of her destroying her whole family. And that's still her family. You know what I'm saying? Those kids, she still has love for those kids. Those were her cousin's kids. So, I can understand her not killing over that small offense. Although she's not happy about it. And she's not a murderer. She's not a monster. So she dips out. I mean, she's going to wish she had, obviously, because this is going to lead to a giant war. So then she leaves on her way to tell Rhaenyra, hey, man, the Greens have usurped the throne and your father's dead, and they just took your throne. So, yeah. There you go. And that's how the episode ends, with her flying off and them terrified and a giant hole in the Dragon Pit floor. I guess you can understand why it wasn't no longer in use by the time Game of Thrones came around. I mean, this was an awesome episode. What do you want to say? This was an awesome episode. I love this show. I cannot wait for the season finale next week. As you can see, I'm repping my Game of Thrones this week. Keep calm and demand a trial by combat, baby. I've had the shirt for so long. I love it. It's still pretty good condition. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Click those notifications so you know when we upload. Keep it locked right here. Check out the travel vlogs, man. And until next time, you know how we do. Peace. 100, y'all.
I'ma go to the ends with you. I'ma go.